Any other reports? Okay, we'll move on then. Report of city officials. Mayor Salzer.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. Just commenting on some of the items on this evening's council agenda. Item 2 deals with the resurfacing project by the Ohio Department of Transportation for portions of U.S. Route 50, which would be from the westerly boundary limits of the city on U.S. Route 50 all the way to the main High Street intersection. And I would join with Mrs. Malone in asking council's favorable consideration of passage of that this evening. This is, as Mrs. Malone pointed out, an 80-20% project. 20% of the cost is assumed by the city, which is a good deal, because otherwise to assume the entire cost, you're looking at well over $300,000-400,000 in order to do this. Item number 9 deals with the electrical service for Hospital Road Lift Station. I would also join with Mrs. Patrick in asking council's favorable consideration of passage of that this evening. As she had indicated, sometimes that we have people who ask us for services and yet at the same time ask us for confidentiality until the deal has been completed. And this is one of those instances where we're able to provide the service to a new customer. Item 10 deals with the appropriation of the monies for the end of the year 2009 budget. As Mrs. Henderson had pointed out, some of this is for some of the overtime incurred by the city for different events or different exigencies that have cropped up during the course of 2009. But the biggest bulk of the $390,000 is for payroll. That there was not enough money appropriated at the beginning of the year for payroll, especially in utilities and street construction. So in order to meet payroll for the last payroll at the end of this year, we will need these monies appropriated. Item 15, which is dealing with the relocation of North Plaza Boulevard. This is merely an ordinance authorizing various city officials to enter into agreements and to convey titles to various pieces of property, dealing with a project really that's been in the making now for probably 15 years. The city began negotiating years ago to try and relocate North Plaza Boulevard to the south of its current location so we could eliminate one of the 3 traffic signals that you see between the 35 exit ramp and Marietta Road, which adds to a lot of the congestion that we experience in that, particularly in that portion of Bridge Street. What this is the culmination of a number of months of negotiations with landowners as well as with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the relocation of, in exchange of deeds, in exchange for receiving property in order to relocate North Plaza Boulevard. One of the benefits of this entire program is that not only have the property owners cooperated, but so has the Ohio Department of Transportation. The bulk of this money, if not all of this money, is going to be paid for out of federal highway safety funds, which the Ohio Department of Transportation has. This is a project that will be ready to go in the year 2010. The Department of Transportation itself is now working on the final plans and design work for this particular project, basically with the help and the assistance of the City Engineers Department. Without the City Engineers' help over the past year and a half in order to complete surveys, in order to do research on titles to real estate in that particular area, we have been able to move this project along a lot quicker than we had anticipated. What will happen then is the current BP gas station as you see it now will probably move forward northward. Part of the land owned by the restaurants on the south side of the BP gas station are also conveying portions of their real estate to the state and to the city so that this project can then, a new road can then be aligned with the Route 35 exit ramp onto Bridge Street. There will only be then the one signal before you get to Marietta Road for the second signal. It will also, with the realignment, allow for all traffic coming now off of North Plaza Boulevard as well as out of the gas station and other areas off of North Plaza Boulevard to come to this new intersection with traffic signalization to go south or to go north. And on the same token, for traffic coming off of Route 35 westbound, they would be able to go north, west, and south coming out of that intersection. So this will be a nice addition to this particular problem area of traffic congestion that has plagued this community for a number of years. I also would like to announce, if I can find my notes, about the Chillicothe Transit and the Parks and Recreation Annual Tour of Lights and Decorating Contest for our households. December 2nd and 3rd will be the judging of those households who have indicated they'd like to have their houses judged. They still have until December the 1st in order to contact the Chillicothe Parks and Recreation Department to indicate that they would like to participate and where their house is located. And then the annual tour of lights will be conducted with the Chillicothe Transit System beginning on Monday, December the 7th and running through December the 10th. The tours are at 6 o'clock and 7:30 each evening, and residents who'd like to take the tour can purchase their tickets at the Transit Department for $1, and they will be picked up at the Chillicothe Municipal Parking Lot at the head of the park on Water Street. So I'm sure that, well, I don't know if we meet before then again or not, but anyone who'd like to participate is certainly welcome to. The service director has asked me to indicate to the citizens that we are still continuing to collect leaves. The one leaf collection machine, which is, I think it was dug up with some of the dinosaur artifacts years ago and has been used ever since, that machine is no longer repairable. So we've been using the machine from the Parks and Recreation Department to help in our efforts to pick up the leaves. They are also in the process of picking up the bagged leaves. So we once again appreciate the patience of the citizens as we try to get to this project, especially before the freezing wet weather begins to hit our area. And then finally, I'd like to wish all citizens of Chillicothe a very happy Thanksgiving this coming Thursday. We certainly have a lot to be thankful for, not only in our nation but also in our community, and it's a good opportunity to remember all of those blessings that we've received and to take this opportunity to thank God for what we have here in Chillicothe. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Law Director, Mrs. Eddy?
Thank you, President Schultz. Members of council, and I would like to point out item number 5, as Mr. Bonner indicated, is an adjustment in pay for the Assistant Law Director. The position is created through the federal grant, and so the pay increase is with the grant monies. And what I did was I anticipated a 3% increase with that, but I have adjusted her back to be consistent with what the other individuals in the city received, and which was, I think it was 2% or something of that nature. And so we did kind of cut her back on that, but this is just so that she does get a pay increase consistent with those other employees. The Gazette on Sunday indicated that this was a creation of an assistant law director position, and it's not. It's just an amendment to one that was already created. So I wanted to make sure that you understood that.